Your strategy can be perfect, but if your mindset isn't ready to hold more, you will hit a ceiling time and time again. Today, I will share the exact mindset shifts that moved me to consistent 100K cash months. Now, today is one of the most important episodes I will ever record, because no matter how good your strategy or systems are, if your mindset isn't aligned with that, you will hit an income ceiling. Because the truth is, scaling isn't just a strategy game. It's very much a strategy game, but it's also an identity game. Think about it like this. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings dictate the actions we do or do not take, and our actions create our results. So from that alone, you can see that it's our thoughts, aka our mindset or our beliefs, that are running the show here. So if your nervous system can only feel safe and hold 5 or 10K months, then you will self-sabotage to stay there no matter how much consciously or logically or desire-wise you want more than that. It's about what your identity and your nervous system feel safe holding at the end of the day. So if we don't fix this, you will pull back, burn out, or block yourself without you even realizing it. I was once stuck in this. I was actually stuck at 30K months for such a long time. Some months I would have a little bit more, some a tiny bit less, but roughly I would stay around that 30K mark, no matter what I did and no matter how much I said I was ready for those 100K months. And through unpacking this identity work, what I actually realized is that I had a belief that scaling beyond that would cause burnout. It would be exhausting. It would be hard work. And guess what? When I value freedom of choice, spaciousness, and comfort so much, my body was not going to then put me in a position that would take me out of that, where I'm comfortable, I'm living my dream life, I've got all of my needs met. Why would I stretch myself and get uncomfortable and work harder and lose my time and energy? But then I clocked myself and realized through doing this inner work that actually that is a false belief. It is not necessarily true. For some it is if they go about it the wrong way, but it doesn't have to be true that scaling beyond 30K months equals you lose time. It absolutely can be the opposite. And I started to see evidence of that being true, and I got the right support that I needed, both identity-wise and strategy-wise, to be able to feel safe holding more. And when I moved through this block of my own, which mind you, I had for such a long time without even realizing it, because remember, I was comfortable, even though, I said I wanted more. The reality is I felt safe. I was cool. I was in a good place, right? And it wasn't until I did this work that things changed. And right after I realized what this fear and this block was and I moved through it, the very next month, I went on to have a $60,000 cash month. And then the month after that, I had my first $83,000 month. And if you have 12 of them in a row, that's $1 million year. And the month after that, I had my first $100,000 cash month. So I went up and up and up and up and up, all because I removed the block. A false block. So today I want to share with you the mindset shifts that actually allowed me to do just that. Now, here's what you might believe right now: that more clients equals more hours, more money means more stress, selling means sacrificing freedom, health, or relationships. And if you're holding one or all of those beliefs, just like I was, then of course you're going to be stuck, because subconsciously your brain is trying to protect you, because that's its job and it's doing so good at that, right? We've got to thank our brain, because it's truly looking out for us. It's doing what it thinks is best. But then when we realize that actually, we are safe and our brain, just thinks we're being chased by a tiger, but we're not, that's what's going to allow us to regulate our nervous system and move forwards, right? Our brain isn't so good at getting out of our comfort zone, and unfortunately growth happens outside of our comfort zone. So we have to remind ourselves that even if our brain is, sending fire alarms, it doesn't actually mean we're in unsafe territory. It might just be that it's new and that might be just about it. Now, your brain's protecting you, right? And it's saying, if more money means less freedom, I'm just going to stay right where I am. And it's going to be so subtle and subconscious, you don't even realize it. And that's why it feels like you're pushing against a wall no matter how hard you try. And here's what I want you to know. Scaling doesn't have to cost you. And I really hope, even just me being vulnerable and sharing that with you, that I'm evidence of that. That the right model paired with the right mindset allows you to make more while doing less. And I just want to share that, like, of course, for some people, it is actually true that if they sign more clients, they work more hours. But that's a business model problem, not an actual fact that that's the case for everyone. This is why there are lots of different business models, and some are just better than others. And when you get the right business model and you pair that with the right identity, you can see that you are limitless in your potential, right? So the truth is that the bigger your vision is, actually the calmer your nervous system needs to be, because you can't scale chaos. You scale into calm, okay? So I even remember when I was, first starting my business and I was, trying to reach my first 10K month. I worked harder than I do now. And I really believed that more money meant more hustle. And I stayed there for ages, but it wasn't until I upgraded my identity to be a match for $10,000 months, and I did a lot of specific identity things that allowed me to do that I finally went on to hit my first 10K month the very next month. Now, like I said, I work less than ever before, and my calendar is mostly clear every day of the week. I have time for Pilates, long walks, date nights, spontaneous travel, and my business consistently is making 100K plus months now. Now, the strategy and the systems, super essential, right? This is what makes up the scalable system. We've got our strategy, we've got our sales, and we've got our systems. You need all three, but it also only works as much as your mindset is a match for it, okay? So let me break down the 3 mindset shifts that you need to really scale. You have to move from hustle to spaciousness. So stop glorifying busy. Busy is not a badge of honor. Spaciousness creates results because it gives you capacity to lead and create and serve at a higher level, right? So we don't want to be doing things we don't need to do. This is where we need to work smarter. We need to delegate. We need to automate. We need to template things so that you get your time back, okay? We don't want to just be busy doing things that we feel are productive, but it's not actually what we should be doing. Second thing is to move from self-doubt to self-trust. Every big leap requires trust. Trust that you can figure it out. Trust that clients will come. Trust that your work is valuable. Trust in yourself enough to invest in yourself. You've got to back yourself. If you can't back yourself, no one else can back you. Without self-trust, you will second guess every decision and you will stall on your own growth. And number 3, we have to move from scarcity to expansion. So scarcity says, what if it doesn't work? Whereas expansion says, what if it does work? Scarcity holds you at 5 to 10K months or whatever is your cap and where you're comfortable. Whereas expansion allows you to step into 30, 50, and even 100K months because you believe it's safe and possible for you. I've seen these shifts again and again with my clients. One of my clients, Amy, used to procrastinate endlessly. And you might see on a surface level, oh, she's just procrastinating. She's just not a good action taker. When actually you dig deeper, she was procrastinating because she was subconsciously protecting herself from making more money because she was afraid of being seen, right? This one fear was making her procrastinate and stopping her from making money. When we removed this fear of being seen, all of a sudden she started making $25,000 a month. Jasmine scaled to her first 60K month, not just because of her strategy, but because she finally let go of this chronic self-doubt that she wasn't doing enough, and she actually trusted her to do more with having boundaries within her business. And Lucy went from 12K months to 40K months after deciding to back herself with a big investment. She said yes before she felt ready, and that decision alone expanded to what she believes possible because she was suddenly surrounded by me and other people doing big things, which pushed her to grow. Each of them paired strategy with mindset shifts that expanded their capacity for more. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, Sophia, but I don't know if I'm ready. And here's the truth. Being ready is a complete myth. No one feels ready if it helps. And if you truly do, it likely means that you simply waited too long. I didn't feel ready when I invested my first $9,000 into a coach. I didn't have, I hadn't made that much in my business personally. I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't feel ready when I invested 40K into my current mentor. But those leaps are exactly why I'm here today. And a belief that has always served me, so feel free to adopt this if this helps at all, It's something I can't even remember how I learned about it. It was really early on in my business, thank goodness, because it's honestly served me so much. And that is, every investment I make comes back to me tenfold. And the funny thing is, it does. So much so that I should actually change that belief and say everything I invest comes back to me 20-fold, because it's almost been accurate to a T. I've made millions and millions of dollars. And it's because of the investments that I've made, hands down. Now, the truth is that readiness isn't actually a feeling, it is a decision. So if you're waiting for this feeling, like, you're going to be waiting for a while, because it is a decision. You decide when you're ready, and then your brain, your business, and your results align with the actions you took from that decision. The results you have right now is a collection of decisions you've made, if you think about it. So to recap, the 3 mindset shifts to move you from where you are now to multiple 6 figures and beyond is to move from hustle to spaciousness, because that's what you need to expand. Moving from self-doubt to self-trust, because that's what you need to be able to make the right decisions that are actually going to support you to grow. And to move from scarcity to expansion, because what we focus on grows, and where energy goes, energy flows, right? So when you shift your mindset in these ways, your strategy will finally start working in the way that you see is working for other people. You'll stop plateauing, and you'll actually open up space energetically to hold 30, 40, 50K months, even 100K months with freedom and ease. Because scaling isn't just about what you do, it is about who you become. So if you're ready to actually decide that you're ready to shift your mindset, upgrade your identity, and step into the version of you that is running a multiple 6 or 7 figure business, then I would love to support you. Book a free roadmap call with me, and on this call, I will look at your mindset, your blocks, and uncover any beliefs that might be holding you back, and we can map out a plan together to expand into that next level. Link is below.